What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Floyd Lamb Park. Let's fish that. Alright guys, it was supposed to be a wonderful day today for fishing, but unfortunately the wind has picked up. Hopefully by trying to shield the microphone the wind noise wouldn't be that bad, but we'll have to make do with the weather that we are given today. Okay guys, so as mentioned in a previous video, winter time here in Nevada is a good time to do trout fishing. So I would like to show you guys what it is that I'm using to try and catch some trout here today. Okay, so as a youngster, I had the opportunity to spend some time in Rome, Italy, where I caught my first rainbow trout. Did so using a little bobber like this. You put your line through it and it can move on the line. And then dangling below this, you put a little hook where you put something like night crawlers or wax worms on there to try and catch some trout. I have also caught some trout in South Africa. We do have a few places there that also stock trout for game fishing. These trout, however, you tend to catch them using fly rods and flies rather than using any particular baits. Here in America, however, because they have the hatcheries, they have lots of fish that they need to feed from a very small size onwards. These fish are quite used to the food that they are being fed. For that reason, it's quite a good thing to fish with this specific food that they are used to, especially in the first few weeks after they are stocked. So there is a wide selection of power baits. I'll show you guys a few of the ones that I have selected thus far. I would also like to show you guys the rig I use on these power baits. You can still use the little bobber. However, I find that the power baits actually float, so you have to put on extra lead weights if you want to keep it down. And for some reason it seems that the fish are actually quite afraid of bobbers. Anything on the top of the water moving around, the fish are less likely to have a go at your baits. Alright guys, here's the setup that I'm using today. If you follow my channel quite regularly, you'll also see that this is the same setup that I use when trying to catch catfish. However, we're going to use a different type of hook. So we have a little leader connected to a swivel and the hook on the other side. And then I have two different weights here. Normally I would be using a small weight like this, as I believe that when the fish actually grab the baits and they try to move it, if you have a heavy weight on there, the fish will feel something's wrong and they tend to spit out the baits. That's why I tend to use as light a weight as I can to give myself a few more seconds to actually try and set the hook to get the fish. However, today is quite a windy day, therefore I am using a bit bigger weights for today. Not ideal, but we'll see if we can make it work. Alright guys, quickly having a look at the little power baits. The first one I have here is a corn scented one. I find that when they have just recently stocked the fish, having a more natural flavor, something like corn or cheese, works the best, as this is what the fish would be used to eating in the hatcheries. Next one I have is a salmon egg flavor. I find that the salmon egg flavor works well during December, as this is normally the time when these fish tend to be in their spawning mode and the males are more aggressive towards other fish and towards other fish's eggs in their territory. So this might work better during the spawning season. Also, if you are fishing creeks or rivers, using the salmon egg flavor might be a more natural thing to use in the rivers and might get you some more bites. Then I have a garlic scented one. I find by the end of the season, as the fish no longer go for the corn ones, something like the garlic ones tend to work a bit better. And then I also got one with a scent that is twist. I don't really know what scent this is, but I'm having this one because the other fishermen around the area are using this. You have to kind of hear from other guys what they are using, as the fish would be used to seeing this in the water, used to this being a food source. Therefore, I also have to use whatever the other fishermen are using. Alright guys, so we are going to use those power baits, rolling them up in little bowls, and then putting that onto the hook, casting it in and waiting for the fish to show up. Now, the problem is this is quite a big pond that they have here, and it's quite difficult to locate the fish. Now, there are a few ideas on how the fish act and where to find the fish. One being that when they stock the fish, they stock them in a specific place, and the fish tend to stay in that area for a week or more. Other people, however, disagree with this, saying that as soon as the fish are stocked, they tend to move around, exploring the body of water that they are in. Which one is correct? I don't know. Trying to find the places where the people stock the trout initially, where they stop the vehicles to load them into the water, is a good place to start. I have found, however, that the fish don't tend to be in those areas, as they are schooling together and they are moving in these schools around the lake. Now, if you can locate these fish, it is a good place to try and put your baits. At this moment in this lake, however, I believe that the fish are over in the far corner. Lots of people there at the moment, lots of people catching fish there. The rest of the people elsewhere in the lake not catching anything. So I believe the school of fish that have been stocked to be in that area. Not wanting to intrude on those people's fishing experience, but never be afraid to move around to find the spots to catch your daily limit that you are allowed to catch. Alright guys, I get to have a lovely slice of humble pie. A week ago I went fishing and caught my daily limit of 3 fish within 30 minutes, thinking it's quite easy to do so. Went this time around and got no fish. No bites, no fish, nothing. People were catching fish early in the morning when we got there. By the time we had everything set up and started fishing, it was like someone flipped a switch. No one were getting any bites, no one caught any fish for the remainder of the day. Now, if the weather had any part in this, being overcast or the wind picking up, or whether the moon phases weren't right, or Mars wasn't in Jupiter, anything like that, I don't know. All I know is it's called fishing for a reason. You're not always going to catch something. It's not catching, it's fishing. But like they say, every cloud has a silver lining. In this instance, I get to hopefully make another video where I actually catch some fish, seeing as how we still have a couple months of winter ahead of us. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you're new to the channel, if this is the first time you're seeing this, consider helping out my channel by hitting the red subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions or any tips you want to give me, please feel free to leave any comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.